Good morning, YouTube. This is King Craven from Team Turbulence. How's it going? I know you haven't seen me in a while. I have another deck profile for Raccoons. Well, not another, the first one. I know I'll make a deck profile like once every 6 months or something, but really trying to change that. So let me get into it real quick. I've seen a lot of builds online, and I think the best version is one that really just goes for the OTK, because this deck, plus is so hard. I'll explain a bit why I have my choices, and I don't really have an extra deck hammered out. I have like 19 cards, and when I show you what I have, if you guys can give me comments, suggestions, what you think about them, so I can kind of hammer that out, that'd be awesome. So I'm going to start with 3 Punpoko. Can you guys see that? 3 Punpoko and 3 Tantan. If anyone tells you to run, any less than that, they're doing it wrong, and they should kill themselves. Not literally though. Please don't kill yourself. Next, 3 Junk Synchron. I know most builds run 1 or 2. I don't understand why. He is so good. Everybody knows he's so good. And he literally can almost OTK by himself if the field presence is there, and the deck is built to give you good field presence with consistent plussing, so it shouldn't be a problem in most instances. And then when you need to have a good top deck, when you're getting pressured by your opponent, he's an auto synchro, he's auto cataster, he's an auto whatever to get out of those situations. So he's almost always live, except for maybe sometimes the first or second turn. Alright, next. Bunny. You either love or hate Bunny. I know everybody loves him, but to me he's like a mini Mally. You can't stand to draw this little guy in your hand, but he's coming off a Tantan, he really is the man. So you have to run 2. I tried 1. 1's good, you never draw it at 1, and you always get it off the Tantan effect. But after you use that 1, you're SOL. So gotta have 2. Next is Key Mouse. I like Key Mouse. I see some builds sometimes that run 2. I think 2 is too much. 1 is perfect, because you still get the Notorial play. You get the creature swap play off of it, and he's still essentially a Sangan. So he's pretty good. So he's worth the 1, but I think 2 is too much. You want to limit how many dead cards you draw. He doesn't do anything for you off the draw. You have to set him, and so he'd stay in your hand for quite a while. Next, Wind Up Kitten, Walking Compulse. I love him, pretty damn good. Next, I run the Fable Cerberel. I love this guy because he makes the broken Fabled Synchro guy, who we're gonna see later. I did have him initially at 3 and then at 2. I like him, but once again, I want to limit the number of top decks, the things that I draw, where he can't really do too much for me in a situation where I need the pressure. But it's not a problem. If I draw him, I'll just normal summon and then do what I need to do, but you prefer the special summon a lot of stuff. And the last monster is Beast King Barbaros. I searched and tested for a good while. I like him over Green Baboon and over Redox. And Redox, I love Redox. I love me some Redox, but I know Redox is the Monster Reborn, and he can keep special summoning himself, but what the deck lacks is a beater, and he can normal summon himself at a 19 beater, which helps your token play. And when you just need to get a normal monster off their board, he can crash with Thunder King, which is a nuisance. And he can wipe off little guys off the board, and then you can use Obedience to Barbo's combo to boom your opponent's whole field, which is sick. I made some guys rather sick doing that, and then of course he comes out 3K when you do that. So he's the winner for me. Spells, of course, you have to start out with the man, or the men Obedience Schooled. The card's not fair. I think it's going to be a $15 to $20 card. As soon as somebody utilizes it and makes it OD broke in a deck, like it's not already in the Raccoons. But when they put something a little extra, that's going to be the key card, and it's dumb. I'm not going to go farther into it. Another difference I occasionally see a build that has 1 United We Stand. I'm running 3. It just insanely increases your OTK ability. Even if you only have like 1 Sandeyu and that's it, and then you equip Sandeyu to that and then make the token, the attack boost of United We Stand calculates because it's continuous before the token registers the attack. So Sandeyu is initially 18 and then he goes to 26 and the token becomes 26. So you put 52 on the board just by having United We Stand. It's dumb. So you basically add 3,200 attack points. That's just with 1 Sandeyu. Now imagine if you like flip Tantan, the pop bunny, and then make Sandeyu, make the token, and then normal summon Junk Synchron. That Junk Synchron is coming out at what, 4,900. You have a game on the board right there. Like it's dumb. Please try triple United We Stand. Don't take my word for it. I couldn't even see going down the 2. It's so good. It helps mature your beast because now you can equip it to him by himself. Mature your beast is now 3K, so now he's not just a nuisance. Like, he is god awful hard to get off the board because you don't have to swing on him. Next, triple MST, self-explanatory. Double creature swap. I initially had 3. I did run the Nimble Momonga build before. I didn't like it. Once again, Malley syndrome. You draw 2, you feel like slitting your wrist. Double duality. I ran 3 initially before, but of course that's overkill. You don't need 3. You do a lot of special summoning. I run Book. A lot of people question Book of Moon. They say it's not good this format, but that's all relative to the deck you run. Like, you can still use it against your opponent. It's not as effective as it's been in some other formats, but you run monsters that can plus off the flip effect. So if they want to crash into Tantan, you have flip, and you want to be cute and leave it in attack mode. Say you suspect they have a warning or something, and you want to be cute and you want to pop their back row. I leave it in attack sometimes, and I goat them into attacking. Though I'll book my Tantan, get out another bunny, blow up the back row, and then the next turn proceed to go off. And lastly, another spell choice that I haven't seen this one in any version of the Coons is Pada de Machimi. It's a pot. It's a pretty darn good pot. People questioned it when I put it in there because the deck is all beasts. You see I have all beasts and then like 3 warriors. So I only have 2 different types, but people forget you exceed and synchro summon ridiculously in this deck. So the third one does come. I would never run 2 because I only run beast and like the junk warrior synchron in the deck. So, but the 1 getting that mid and late game is so good to put back your bunnies, put back your Tantan and stuff. Like, I like that over the Rebirth actually. Don't have to pay 2 stacks, and I get to still recycle my stuff and put in the deck that's anti against deck out. And lastly, the traps. Of course, first and foremost, triple Phoenix Chain, a must this format. Double Mirror Force. Trap Stun. Like I said, this build is supposed to push for the OTK, so it's another out to your opponent's back row because no heavy means a lot of back row, so a lot of crying. Warning. I'm not a huge fan of Warning, but definitely put it in here. Bottomless. And lastly, Compulse. A lot of people say that's not good this format either, but I run a monster Compulse in the deck, so it's like I have 2 Compulses. So to me, I think it's really good. So that is my build. Like I said, it's you can see quite a few differences. Now for the extra deck, first and foremost, the man himself, Mr. Sandeyu at 3. Formula Synchron. I'm questioning keeping this. Of course, I I don't have Effect Veiler. I do have my build online ran Effect Veiler. I was still going to put in 2, or at least side 2. So he's questionable. He's one of those guys that are on the fence. Like I said, I have like 19, 20 cards in this extra deck. I need to make some room. Next, Mr. Spellspeed 5, the broken one, Fabled Unicore. I don't understand why more people don't run this crap. Like, this guy's broke. He's OD broke. Especially when your opponent goes like set 2 or set 3 and summon a monster and have 2 or 3 cards in their hand. They're like, when they're close to almost top deck, you know, and they lower their hand count, you go Obedient Schooled or something stupid, and you set the cards and you go to the right number that your opponent has, and you go onto him. It negates everything, so you can push for game, and they can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter if they have a counter trap or not. The only thing that stops him is like Black Horn of Heaven and Warning, and I think there's another trap card. Like, you have to stop the summon. If you allow the summon of him, he can stop anything, including other counter traps. Like, if he's on the field and you try to Warning something else I bring out afterwards, like a Sandeyu, you're SOL, because he stops it all. Unless you change the amount of cards in your hand that no longer match mine. But if I, on the same chain, change it back, then you're SOL too, and you lose that card. Alright, next, of course, you got to have Mandatoria Beast. Super broke, super easy to make out. 1 card Mandatoria Beast, fun games. Cataster. Initially didn't have him in here, but there's, you know, when you play against the, you know, the tier 0 or tier 1 decks, you got to have him when you need to top deck. Every other deck, you really have so much field presence and card control, or he's not utilized. But when you're playing against the better decks, I finally need to have to go into him a lot. Next, Mr. Keeper of Boundaries. I finally just picked one of him up. I haven't used him yet, but I played with him online, and, you know, depending on the situation, if you're, you know, duking it out with a guy and you need to make that quick push and hurry up and get the game, sometimes I'll go into him, you know, when I don't want to waste the Cataster, or when I don't want to waste the next guy, Mr. Junk Warrior. Some people's like, oh, you run 3 Junk Synchrons, how come you only have 2 Junk Warriors? Because, you know, usually one's enough, but on the off chance they scrape the one, you have the second one, and Junk Synchron goes in all the other 5 stars that you just saw that I'm running. This man is ridiculous. I was just played last night at the locals when I went like 11-0 against the house. Didn't lose a match yesterday, and I got him up to 7,500 attack by himself and pushed directly. The opponent dropped Gores, put a token in the Gores in defense, and I had a 7,500 Sandeyu smack the Gores, and then main phase 2 I creature swapped and took the 7,500 attack token. Like, it's dumb. I run this guy just to have a level 6. I want that Divine level 6 guy, the Synchro. I haven't found him yet. If anybody wants to trade, just let me know. I want it. Black Rose. And then the rest of this extra deck is where I'm really dicey at. I know I want to keep the Crimson Blader, and I've been debating between Scrap Dragon and Junk Destroyer. Now, Junk Destroyer is really good too. He combos. You really get him out when you have Obedient Schooled, and you go 3 for Obedient Schooled and then summon Junk Synchron. You make the Sandeyu to give you a 1-star token, and then you synchro the token, the 2 beast, and then the Junk Synchron into him. So when your opponent has a bunch of back row, a bunch of cards to get off the field, and you don't have anything to blow up, or, you know, you want to scrape their monsters and you don't have something to get rid of everything, you do that play and he'll blow up 3 cards in the field for, you know, for you. So I was debating, and then I used him one time, and he's, you know, I really think I want to use him over Scrap Dragon. But I have to have the Obedient School set up to really utilize him. So I think if I do go into 8s, I might use Scrap Dragon a little more, because you need the Obedient School play to really make him. But when you make him, he's clearly better than Scrap Dragon. So please give me your thoughts on that. Now, next, I also run the I need to decide between Mistworm or Leo. I know initially you would say, well, Leo's better because you can't target stuff, but on my turn, you know, stuff can't target you my turn. You know, you want to think you're playing against the best decks, and when they make pushes, you know, they have big fields, and you know, Mistworm clears that stuff. And I've used the Mistworm. I haven't gotten Leo out yet, except for like once, and it was just like game over. So I haven't been able to really try to test out his effect, but you know, and I know he has a much higher attack and a little better defense. His stats are better, but right now I'm leaning on Mistworm. Please convince me otherwise, besides what I already know. And then lastly, I'm trying Star Eater right now. I'm thinking I might not keep him either. You know, he's good. He's not great. Well, he's kind of above average, but you know, I don't know. I haven't used him yet either. So that's what I'm running right now. Like I said, I really haven't lost much yet. Bring it back up to me now. I really haven't lost much yet. I think I lost to Mermills once since I started playing. I've gone to locals 3 times now. Undefeated the last 2 times. The first time I lost to Tyson Pan. Tyson, I'll see you again, son. I'm coming for you. Deck is really consistent. Extremely consistent, actually. Grind game's pretty good. OD Ridic, OTK boards really fast. I think anyone that's coming back into the game that did play previously, instead of spending gobs of money on Mermills or Fire Fist, should pick up this deck first. You know, it pluses extremely well. You know, so yeah, I give it the 2 thumbs up. King Craven, seal of approval. You know, pick up the deck. Once again, please subscribe and oversubscribe and comment. I like to know what people think about decks, their opinions on the meta, those types of things. But you know, particularly my builds. I put a lot of work into my builds. I know I always put different tech choices and stuff. But once again, let me know what you think, and have a good day. I'm out.